Okay.
Okay, so let's start lying on our back.
Me, let me move it to the right view.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's not what I want. There you go.
Okay.
And you can see me now,
Yep,
right?
perfect. Yep. So lay flat on your back, extend your legs long, activate your legs all the way down through the big toe mounds. If you can, bring your legs together. Great. If not, great. And then raise your hands over your head. First, catch the sides of your mat with your thumb side up. Pull the mat to catch the skin on your lower back to lengthen your lower back long. And then interlace your thumbs above your head. And we're just going to start by activating our whole body so that as you push through the big toe mounds, you feel the arches lift, the kneecaps lift, a line of energy up through the inside of the legs. The lower belly goes in and up. And then as you pull the thumbs away from each other, you feel the outside of the arms activate, the armpits, and the sides of the torso. Make sure that your lower back is connected with the mat and long so that even though our whole body is active, we're not crunching in the lower back. And make sure that your shoulders are lowered down towards your hips, but your whole torso is pulling up out of your hips. And we're going to breathe here. There shouldn't be any tension, but your whole body should be activated. If your arms get tired, you can bring them down into cactus arms and take a minute to rest and then go back up. And if your legs get tired, you can make circles with your ankles and then come back to the position of the flexed feet and pushing through the big toe mound and the pinky toe mound, activating the whole leg. And we're going to stay like this for 1 minute, really waking up the body, arriving on our mat. And I want to set an intention for class. Become willing to heal your heart. We don't open our hearts by being a tower of strength. We don't open our hearts by glossing over things in our head. We open our hearts by feeling what we feel. We open our hearts by being vulnerable, honest, and gentle. We've become so strong, so self efficient. I can deal with that, we say. No big deal. I'll keep moving on. Yet many circumstances we've been through, and some we're going to go through now, cause break lines in our heart. Some of the fractures are small, some are big. They really hurt. Maybe certain people in our lives weren't there for us, aren't there for us now in a way we'd like them to be. Maybe some deceived us unconsciously or betrayed us deliberately. I can deal with that, we say. I understand. They have their own issues. I forgive. Yes, people do have their own issues, and we do forgive. But now it may be time to learn gentleness, compassion, understanding, and forgiveness for ourselves. We don't open our hearts by ignoring the break lines. We take our hand, knowing it's held by God, and gently run our fingers across each crack. Yes, it's there. Yes, I feel it. Yes, I'm ready to heal my heart. On the next exhale, walk your feet over to the right, cross your left foot on top of your right foot, and then walk your hands over to the right. Grab the left wrist with the right hand And allow the whole, I'm sorry, grab the right wrist with the left hand and allow the whole right side body to really open up. So you should feel a nice release on the outside of the right leg, the outside of the right hip, all the way up the right side of the torso. Breathe here, considering the message and trying to pick an intention for your time on the practice, on the mat today during practice, that you can then bring off the mat to your daily life. Is there a way you can see your heart and honor your heart on the mat that will inform how to do that off the mat? And the next exhale, slowly walk your feet over to the right, one leg at a time, going into banana pose on the left side. Cross the left leg over the right ankle. Bring the hands over to the right. Switch the wrists. So this time the right hand has the left wrist. Keep both shoulders and hips flat on the floor. And allow the whole left side body to slowly open. Yeah, 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 yeah. Slowly walk your legs back to center. Walk your hands back to center. Bend your legs, bringing your feet to the mat. Bring your feet out wide, knees together, and just slowly windshield wiper the legs any amount that your hips allow, releasing the lower back. And then you're going to bring your knees into your chest, hands on your knees, like this in a glove, so your fingers are pressing down your feet. And we're going to do some pelvic pumping. So basically, this is a way to wake up the energy that sits dormant in your pelvis. And as we exhale, your arms are going to lengthen. And as you inhale, you're going to bend your elbows and bring your knees towards your chest. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And it's a very slight tuck of the pelvis. As you bring your knees down, your back will flatten to the floor. As your knees go away from you, your lower back or your middle back will lift up slightly. So just feel it's a little subtle, but if you can find it, it feels really good and will bring you energy throughout your day. Inhale out, exhale in, as fast or as slow as you like. Ideally picking the opposite of your normal. So if you usually move super fast, go super slow. If you move super slow, try to go a little faster. Second. And then on the exhale, let your feet go to touch the floor. Can you reach the outside of your feet? Like have
No,
with bent knees?
my legs are too long. I can if I bend maybe, but my legs are very long.
Like for a happy baby. So bend your knees and open your legs so that it's as if your knees are going to come into your arm. Bend your knees a lot.
Like that?
Yeah,
My
but
legs, look at my legs and my arms.
bring your knees, your thighs down towards your chest. Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Wow, still my arms are short.
Okay, so can you grab your ankles or your shins?
Yeah, ankles.
So from there, the goal of this pose is really just to make sure that your whole back is lengthened. And we're going to rock side to side in this position, allowing the whole back to be relaxed and open on the floor. And then you're going to grab your knees behind your hands behind your knees and rock and roll a few times, massaging the spine. And then we're going to come up to a sitting position. So we'll get our chair to not have pressure on the hips or the knees. Okay. So first thing I want you to do is make sure that your ankles are a 90-degree angle. So like your feet need to move forward or back, and that your hips are a 90-degree angle. So that you're not sitting forward into your future and you're not leaning back into your past. You're just right in the center plumb line of your body. And we want to make sure that your hip bones are also at the correct tilt of your body, so that your hip bones, your back can be at in the plumb line, but your hip bones will be outside of that. The plumb line is like if I dropped a pendulum straight down, I want everything to line up so that we're in a line. So tilt your hips forward, tilt your hips back, like sort of round the back, and then come into like a concave back, and then convex, concave, until you find the middle where your hips are completely aligned, straight up and down. You have a 90-degree angle in the hips. And then we're going to start by just taking a few deep breaths here. Now that our body is more awake, we've released some of the tension, to feel how we feel in the beginning of class, and then we'll compare it to how we feel in the end of class to see the benefits of our practice. So we're going to close our eyes and do a body scan, starting from your toes, coming all the way up your legs to your knees, and going back to your hips, and up the front of your body, paying attention to emotional and physical grounding. There's an opportunity to assess your heart, and then up to the top of your head, around the top of your head to your back, down your back, underneath your feet, your hamstrings, the backs of your knees, your calves. So just take a deep breath here with gratitude for where we are and the ability to see and grow. And then we're going to do seated cat cow. So bring your hands to your thighs and we're going to inhale, look up, exhale, round, inhale, look up, exhale, round, inhale, look up, exhale, round. Bring it to your own pace so that it feels natural to connect it with your breath and allow the entire spine to really wake up. Inhale up and down. One more. Come to center. We're going to bring our hands to cactus arms and we're going to do some Kundalini pranayama, which is breath work. So you're going to inhale when you turn to the left, turn to the right, exhale. Inhale, exhale. As you're doing this, make sure that you're lengthening your tailbone down towards the chair, and that as you do this breath work, you'll get some brightness in your forehead. So continue to ground the energy, bring it back into your body as you create the energy. You want to keep it in your body, not let it, have your head float away. 10 more seconds. And on the exhale, you're going to bring your hands down to the sides of the chair. Sit up tall, pull on the sides of the chair for tensile strength, like opposite reaction is an opposite reaction. As you pull on the chair, your chest lifts. And come back to neutral. Inhale. On the next exhale, we're going to do a forward fold. So slowly come forward. If you want to put a bolster on the floor so you have something to reach down for, that's fine. And just allow your head to hang here. You can shake your head, yes, yes. No, no. Allowing the middle back, lower back to release. And getting us ready for the more challenging poses. Inhale back up. And we're going to bring the chair to the front of our mat. And First, come into just a halfway fold. So your body should be like the shape of the letter L. Your hands should be at where the chair meets the leg, so there's no like slipping room, with your thumbs up and your fingers sort of curled underneath the chair. And then from there, rotate the arms so that the triceps are moving towards each other. And bring the hips back in space so that they're directly on top of your feet. Lift the inner arches, lift the kneecaps, and lengthen the head forward so that you have the longest spine possible. And then we're going to start by bending one leg, releasing the outside of the opposite leg. And then bend the other leg. And switch. And switch at your own pace. Allowing the outsides of the legs to release. Preparing for downward facing dog. Walk your hands back on the chair and then inhale up, standing straight. Hands lift over your head, making yourself really, really tall. Urdhva Hastasana. Lengthen the tailbone down. Lift the heart. Slight tuck of the chin. Exhale, swan dive your hands out to the sides, coming back onto the chair. Walk your feet back, coming into downward facing dog on the chair. And this time you want your hips way, way back, deep in the hip creases as much as possible. Again, we're going to rotate the triceps over the top of the arms and towards each other. Drop the head so that we're not creating tension in the neck. And lengthen the back as much as possible. Inhale, come forward to a plank. Lengthen the body up on your tiptoes. Exhale, push it back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to a plank, up on your tiptoes. Straight arms, shoulders above the wrists. Exhale. Lower the heels, come back into a downward facing dog. 2 more times. Inhale, forward, up on the tiptoes. Long body, long neck. Exhale. Deeply fold at the hip creases. Releasing the head, releasing the neck. Step the right foot forward. You can keep the chair there. You might need to shift the left foot back in space. First, we're just going to, you're going to drop the back heel. So we're going to come into warrior one. But I want you to first, using the chair, get your foundation. So really engage the corners of the hips. And when you're ready, inhale the arms up. Deeply bend the front knee. Push into the pinky side of the back leg. And stay here for a moment. Use the line of the front body, so from the pubic bone, all the way up the belly, through the heart, to allow your upper back to curl slightly, but maintain the bend of the front leg. On the next exhale, we're going to twist to the right. So you're going to lower your hands, bring the left hand forward, right hand back, and slowly open your body to your front right leg.
I think you're on the wrong side. Right.
There we go. Just deeply bend the front leg. Yeah. And then inhale back to center. Exhale, bring the hands to the chair. You're going to step your back foot in slightly, straighten the front leg, and we're going to come forward any amount into pyramid pose. So here we want to, the stretch is in the back of the front leg, but also we want to lengthen the side bodies. So it doesn't really matter how low you get. The goal is to be super long in the back of the right leg and the torso, the sides of the torso. Make sure your hips are square, so your right hip is back and your left hip is forward. And then bend the front leg, step the right leg back to meet the left, and come back into downward facing dog. Here, make sure, peek down, make sure your feet are number 11. Make sure you're putting your weight evenly on all 3 points of the foot. And take the hips back in space, activating the triceps. Bringing the shoulder blades together and towards your hips. And the hips are going back in space. Inhale, come up onto the tiptoes, lengthen the body, coming into plank. Exhale, this time we're going to lower our hips towards the chair, coming into a downward facing dog. Upward facing dog, excuse me. Lift your heart through your arms, and then exhale, push it up and back, downward facing dog. Step the left foot forward. Find the correct distance of your hips so that your front leg can be bent, knee on top of ankle. And your back leg, you have the ability to push into the pinky side edge, activating the whole outside of the leg, straightening the left. Once you have your foundation, come up a little higher. Square your hips to the mat. So left hip goes back, right hip goes forward. Activate the outer hips. And then slowly come up into warrior one. Deeply bend the front leg. Activate the back leg so you're straightening it, lifting the kneecap. And then use the line of energy from the pubic bone, up the belly, through the heart, to get a slight back bend, curling the upper back. Breathe here for 2 more breaths. And then exhale, rotate to the left. Right hand comes forward, left hand goes back. Keep the hips square to the front of the mat and try to get the twist from the upper middle back. Looking over the left side of your body. Keeping the front knee bent and the back knee straight. One more breath here. And then exhale, bring the hands back to the chair. Step the back leg in. Hips are train track alignment, so they're not in line with each other. They're in line with the outside of the hips. Left hip goes back, right hip goes forward. And then slowly bend and mount with the intention of stretching the back of the left leg and lengthening the sides of the torso with a flat back. So spread the sacrum from the center to the sides. Spread the collarbones from the center to the sides. Two more breaths here, breathing into the back of the left leg, making sure that the big toe mound of the left foot is not coming up. You have equal pressure in all 3 sides of the feet. Pinky toe mound, big toe mound, and the center of the heel. Inhale before we leave the pose. Lengthen the spine a little bit more. And then exhale, step the left leg back to meet the right, coming into a downward facing dog. This time we're going to bend the knees in our down dog and allow your chest to come towards the thighs, lowering your chest, torso any amount, really, really deep in the hip creases. Lengthening the spine. Inhale, come forward. Step your feet towards the chair. Inhale up, hands meet above the head. In prayer, hands together, feet together. So step your feet all the way together as you have one leg. Inhale, hips to the left, hands to the right. I'll turn this way so you can see what I'm doing. Straight arms. So your triceps are active, your back is active. Exhale to the other side. Hips to the right, hands to the left. Lengthen the sacrum down towards the floor. Activate the triceps. Inhale back to center. Exhale, hands to your back pockets. And back bend any amount. So the back bend comes through the pubic bone going forward, not the belly. So that is going to lengthen the sacrum down and really allow you to find the curl in the upper back as opposed to dumping into the lower back. And if you're comfortable, you could drop the head. One breath here. Inhale back to center. We're going to move the chair off the mat and come into our open hip sequence. So you're going to want to step your feet 3 to 4 feet apart. I wish I could have more. Let's see if I can. Okay, I'm going to move back there. Step your feet 3 to 4 feet apart. You're going to rotate the entire right leg, all the way so that the toes are facing the back wall. Interlace your hands above your head. Pull the thumbs away from each other so that it lifts you up, 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 long out of your pelvis. Once you have no more wiggle room, you're going to slowly bend the front knee and open the arms. Deeply bend the front knee so that but make your stance a little bigger so your knee is not in front of your ankle. Perfect. I want like a 90-degree in the ankle and less than that or up to 90 degrees in the knee. And then as if someone's pulling your backhand backwards, bring your torso back so that your shoulders are in line over your hips. Gaze is over the front arm, activate the triceps, lengthen through the top of the head. Exhale, flip the front palm. Inhale up, hands to your lower back to make sure you're not dumping. Reach the top arm, the right arm up toward where the ceiling meets the wall. Exhale, slowly come forward. Right arm comes to the right thigh.
Wait, I'm on the wrong side. Okay. Okay.
So same arm, same leg onto the bent thigh. Activate the hand on the thigh, which is going to activate your armpit and allow you to lift and open your chest. Inhale back from here into a flying warrior. So rotate the turned leg back to the front, hands up, and lift your heart, lengthen your body as much as possible. Exhale, rotate the opposite leg. So whichever leg you were on before, switch to the other leg. And then we're going to lower the hands, deeply bend the front knee, And make sure your stance is big enough so that your knee is not ahead of your ankle. Lift and open your chest. Activate the triceps. Gazes to the front middle finger. Push into the pinky toe side of the back leg, activating all the way up to the outside of the hip. And deeply bend into the front knee. Inhale, flip the front palm. Bring the back arm to the lower back to keep your awareness on your core engagement and also whether or not you're dumping into your back. And then inhale, sweep the ceiling, coming into a peaceful warrior. See if your hands can try to reach where the wall meets the ceiling, keeping the front leg deeply bent. Exhale, front hand comes to the front thigh.
I'm not getting this one right. Okay.
So
I don't know what happened.
you got it.
Okay.
Activate this hand on the leg. So, yep, so that you can, it's going to make a line of energy all the way up your arm. Activate your armpit and allow you to lift and open your chest to the side. And then we're going to inhale all the way back up to flying warrior. Rotate both feet back to facing forward. And then we're going to bring the chair and come into a wide-legged forward fold. So the legs are wide and you're coming forward. If you can come down onto your forearms, great. If not, whatever you can reach. And here, first, we're just going to shift our weight back and forward, releasing the back of the legs. And then come back to center so that your hips are right over the arches of your feet. And slowly bend one knee and then the other. Releasing the inner thighs and the outer thighs. And then bring your hands to the edge of the chair sideways like a pillow. And see if you can come into a passive stretch. You could even bring like a bolster onto the chair if that helps. Just so that you can rest down with your legs like this so that you really release the hamstrings and all the effort that we just did. Inhale, lengthen the hands. Exhale, walk the feet together. And then we're going to do one more down dog. But if do you have a wall nearby or you want to stick to the chair?
Say that again?
Do you have a wall nearby to do down dog or do you want to stick to the chair?
I can try it at the wall.
So we're going to bring our hands to the wall. And we're just going to do a down dog at the wall. Really allowing our back to release. Lifting the inner arches, lifting the kneecaps, thighs go back in space, and really lifting the belly to allow your hip creases to deepen. Shake your head, yes, yes, no, no. And slowly walk your feet back to the wall and bring your head to the wall just for a minute to bring your nervous system back to neutral. Inhale back, and we're going to come back to the chair. So you have to tell me what exactly you can do with your hips. I want to see if you can extend one leg to the side and one leg straight. And then slow side bend. You can bring this hand to the back of the chair, sort of like a modified Janu Shirshasana, so that you allow the hip to open. You have to shift your weight so that the chair doesn't dig into the back of your thigh. And try to open your heart so that you're not just dumping into the lower side of your body here. You're lifting and then coming over your hip. And then inhale back. Bring the leg back. And we're going to do it on the other side. So shift your weight all the way to the other edge. And this hand is going to go down. This hand grabs the back of the chair. And you can point or flex the extended leg. Really what feels good. Like where is it? Try to see where it feels good in your leg. And on the next inhale, lift your body, open your heart, spread your clavicles, and then use that length to come over and around your hips. Inhale back to center. Come back to the center of your chair. And we're going to extend your legs forward. So 2 legs forward. This time I want you to flex the feet. You can start with your hands grabbing the bucket of the chair and sort of slowly come forward. If this is too easy, you can bring your hands to your legs. But what I don't want is for you to push into the knees so that they hyperextend. So if it's too hard to do it like that, then bring your feet to the floor so that you can push into the floor and micro bend the legs. Allowing the lower back to release, allowing the back of the legs to release. Inhale back to center, bring the knees back underneath your feet underneath your knees, and we're going to twist in one direction. See if you can grab the bar with the back hand. Front hand comes to your opposite knee and twist. On the inhale, lift and open your heart. On the exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Exhale, release. And we're going to switch to the other side. So opposite hand to the opposite knee. The back hand goes behind you. And then slowly twist to face behind you. On the inhale, lift and lengthen the front of the spine. On the exhale, twist to look behind you. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale back to center. And before we go down to the floor, I just want us to one more time set ourselves up with your feet underneath your knees, your hips underneath your shoulders, hands to your thighs, close your eyes, and one more time do a full body scan assessing how we feel now compared to at the beginning of the practice. Start at the feet, go up the legs, back to the hips, up the front of the body, to the top of the head, feeling the emotional and physical feeling, down the back of the body, down the neck, down the back, back to the thighs, to the knees, and then back down to the feet. Is there any cranky part of your body we should address before we close class?
No, good. Little tension here in lower back.
Okay, so let's get
Everything else is gone. All the other tension's gone.
good. Okay, so let's go back down to the mat and we can release the lower back. And from here, we're going to come into Shavasana. So if you want to get an eye pillow or a blanket for your head, now is a good time to just bring it near you so that it's accessible. You don't have to get up again. The first thing I want you to do is bring your feet wide on the mat and then slowly windshield wiper the leg any amount to release any tension in the lower back. You can go back and forth, you can hold, whatever works. You feel a sticky spot, try to stay there for a minute and breathe and feel the tension. Recognizing it, honoring it, knowing that it's there because your body was serving you, and then really just letting it go, even if it feels like it's going to get worse before it gets better. And once a spot is released, see if you can find another spot. Once you're done with that, bring your feet into like a teepee position. So your feet are as wide as they can go, and your knees are together, like knock knee, so that you're not having to use your back to hold your knees together. And then bring your thumbs up on the side of the mat, and then pull the mat down towards your seat to lengthen your lower back. Once your back, the skin of your back is caught on the mat as you pull, it lengthens the tailbone down towards your feet. You're going to bring your knees up into your chest and make circles as big or as small as you can, as it feels good to massage the back. So now we're using the hips to massage the lower back. And also if you find a spot in here that is sticky, stay there, breathe into it, and allow it to dissipate. And we can be sort of intuitive about this. So if it feels good to bring your knees apart or bring your knees together, come all the way down to one side and then the other, whatever feels good here, so that you really use the hip bones to massage the lower back and the movement to let any tension in the lower back go. On your next exhale, you're going to drop both your legs to one side, ground the opposite shoulder to the floor, and really allow the whole side body to release, making sure that your knees are close to your body so that the twist is not coming from your lower back, but it's coming from your middle upper back. Your gaze can be up or it can be over to the opposite side of your knees. Doing what feels good for you, honoring your body, coming back to the intention at the beginning of practice, where if we honor our feelings, they will allow us to grow. And if we pretend nothing's wrong, nothing's bothering us, we're not allowing ourselves to grow and adapt and progress through our journey. And the next inhale, one leg at a time, bring both legs back to center. You can circle them again. You can bring them apart, bring them together. And then when you're ready, as close as your knees can get to your chest, slowly lower them to the opposite side, keeping the opposite shoulder grounded to the floor. You can bring your hand to a cactus arm or extend it out to a T, whichever.
I can't hear what you're saying.
So drop your legs to the opposite side for a supine spinal twist, and ground the opposite shoulder, but make sure that the knees are close to your chest so that the twist does not come from your lower back, but rather comes from your upper middle back. Inhale back to center and extend your legs. If you have a pillow to put under your knees, good for under your head, but also one for under your knees, just so that we don't add tension to your lower back.
I use the bolster.
Perfect. Yep. So bring the bolster under your knees. Perfect. And really allow your entire back body to spread out on the mat. So spread your sacrum from the center to the sides, spread your lower back from the top to the bottom. Push into your elbows to bring your shoulder blades underneath you, and then lengthen the back of your neck. Relax your entire front body, tops of your feet, your shins, your quads.
Can I put my eyeball up?
Yeah, please. Make yourself comfortable. If there's anything you can do, yourself and the blanket, do it all.
Okay. Yeah, I need to be cozy. Okay.
Take your time. Settle in. Relax the entire front of your body, tops of your feet, your shins, your quads, your belly, your chest, your throat. Relax your entire back body, bottoms of your feet, your heels, your calves, Backs of your knees, your hamstrings, your seat, lower, middle, and upper back, backs of your hands, backs of your arms, shoulder blades, back of your neck. Relax your jaw, relax the tongue off the roof of your mouth, relax the sides of your nose, relax your eye socket, relax the space between your eyes, relax your brow, relax your scalp. Take a deep breath in, feeling your chest rise, and a complete exhale out, feeling your chest fall. A deep breath in, feeling your belly rise, and a complete breath out, feeling your belly fall. Feel your body sink into the floor. I will provide some quiet and some peace and let you know when it's time to get up. And begin to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Bring your knees into your chest and give yourself a hug. When you're ready, roll to one side. The right side is calming and the left side is energizing. And now here, take a final moment to scan your body, physical, emotional, energetic, and see how you feel after investing in yourself, nourishing yourself, giving yourself movement and focus and stillness. And when you're ready, using your arms, slowly push yourself up to a sitting position. And we will seal our practice with one Om. Bring your hands to your heart. Inhale for Om. Bow your forehead to your fingertips. Thank yourself for investing in yourself. If you don't give yourself love and energy and compassion, you will not have that to give to anyone or anything else. I thank you for letting me guide you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, Candace.
Have a happy new year. See you next year.
Here.